Hello YouTube, thanks for tuning in to this video. I'm going to start this one with an apology because if you've been following this series on synthesis, it kind of ground to a halt at part 5 a year or two ago. I sort of got sidetracked with other things and yeah, totally forgot about this series. I then got a puppy and yeah, that's my excuse for which I'm sticking to. But I'm back. I'm going to try and get these uploaded on a much more regular basis. So first of all, a bit of an update on this series. I've now sort of collated all the information together in this book called Synthesis Explained, which originally I'd called A Beginner's Guide to Understanding Subtractive Synthesis, but I'm actually going to cover lots of other types of synthesis as well, like FM and ring mod and all of that. So it's not going to be just subtractive synthesis. So this is a work in progress. And there's going to constantly be new chapters and contents added to it. At the moment I've got 5 chapters in there which link in with the 5 videos I've already done. So it is an ebook, and if you can, easy to navigate around. Let's say we want to look at chapter 2, we just click on that link there. It's going to take us over to chapter 2. We've got links to free downloads and things that we may need to use for our synthesis. Got some nice diagrams, and then I've embedded all the videos in the series, if I can find a page, into the book, so you get all of this in here as well. So everything is kind of nicely together in one place, and there's also links to other external sites with some cool stuff on as well. And to try and make it easily navigatable, if that's a word, at the end of each chapter you can just click here and go back to the contents page so you know where you are. So it will work on anything. I use this in Google Play Books. If you just set up a free account for that, you can upload it to that and then it will work on any device, any tablet, iOS or Android or laptop or whatever. And I'll probably try and make a PDF version of it as well available. I'm not sure if I'll probably do that as well. But obviously you wouldn't get the interactivity doing it that way. So you're probably thinking, how do I get hold of a copy of this book? Well, if you subscribe to my second tier on Patreon, which is $3.50, £3.50 a month, or €3.50, then you will get this for free and you'll get the regular updates sent out to you every time I produce an update. So for the price of a cup of coffee a month, you get the nice warm fuzzy feeling and the knowledge that you're supporting my channel, and you also get this book for free, as well as the other stuff that you get on Patreon, like exclusive early releases, Ableton Live project files, Deluge stuff, synth patches and all that kind of stuff. But if you're thinking, well, I'm not really fussed about that book, but I'd like to support the channel, you can do so as well. You can do it on that tier, you can do it on a lower tier that is $1 a month. So it's a minimal amount, but it does make a big difference to me, and I use your money to put it back into the channel, get new gear, better equipment, and so on. So that's the shameless advertising out the way and the update out the way. Let's crack on with this lesson or tutorial or episode, whatever you want to call it. So we're looking at pitch envelopes, and as previously, I'm going to look at compare the envelopes and the things that the synths do. We're going to be looking at the analog device in Ableton Live. We're going to be looking at the Tall Electro VST, which is a really good free VST synth, and then we're also going to look at it on a hardware synth, which for the purposes of this we're going to do it on the Microbus, as I've done in previous ones. So we've looked in the last 2 episodes, we looked at the amp envelope, which we use to sort of shape the volume of the sound over time, and we looked at the filter envelope that we use to shape sort of the tonal quality of the sound over time. So with the pitch envelope, we use it to shape the pitch over time. So the pitch envelope is quite a few uses really. It's great for sound effect kind of things, like spacey, blippy, zappy kind of sounds. You can make like a classic EDM kind of riser build thing, starting on a low pitch going to a high pitch and sort of side chain it to a kick drum to make it pump and all this kind of stuff. So really cool for all that kind of thing. So let's have a look at it in analog first of all. So we need to have the oscillator section highlighted here to see the pitch envelope, which is this bit here. So this is our envelope and these are our controls for it. We can also use these nodes to change it as well. So we've got basically 2 stages to this envelope compared to your filter envelope and amp envelope, which is 4 stages, the ADSR, attack, decay, sustain and release. This one is 2 stages, so it's kind of like attack and decay, I guess. So this first one here, which is the pitch envelope initial, this is where we set the starting pitch. Now if that's at 0% and I hit a key, turn it down a little bit. Okay, I hit a key, it's going to play as expected the note that I've played. If I turn this up, it's going to start at a higher pitch and then sort of go down to the pitch that we played. Okay, so we can set it here, or we can do it with these this node here. So we could start lower and go up, or higher and go down. Okay, now the time it takes, so this is kind of our note that we've played on this line here, and this is where the pitch is. So the time it takes to go from here to here is set, no surprises here, by the time parameter here. So we can have it very short, get like a little zappy kind of sound. Okay, that kind of thing, or we can go really extreme. And again, we can drag it here, or we can change it on here. Okay, so there's an extreme example. So if we did that in reverse, that would really, you could use that as a, that's perhaps a bit low. You know, as I said previously, make that pump with a side-chained kick, and you've got a nice riser effect going off. What we can also do in analog is, if let's turn on oscillator 2, the cool thing with analog is we have two separate pitch envelopes. So oscillator 1 could kind of start high and go down. Oscillator 2 could start low and go up. Okay, oscillator 1's a little bit extreme. Let's turn it down a bit. Okay, so you get some nice interesting sounds out of that. I mean, we could just have oscillator 2 playing at its normal pitch. Kind of almost giving like a drone sound underneath, and then oscillator 1 changing its pitch. And so on. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea with that. Now we can do similar things on the Tall Electro. So let's just get rid of oscillator 2 for now. I'll just do oscillator 1. Just going to turn this up a little bit because it's a little bit quiet. Let's just turn this master up. Sorry if that was rather loud, that last bit. Right, so we're looking at, so in terms of envelopes on here, we've already gone through these in previous episodes, but we've got the filter envelope, sort of dedicated envelope here. We've got the amp envelope, sort of dedicated section here. But here we've got an envelope that we can use to route to various things actually. We can send it to the oscillators, which will affect the pitch. We've also got pulse width modulation, which is coming up in the next episode. And then FM stuff down here. So we've got like 3 stages or 3 controls. It's not necessarily 3 stages, but 3 controls. So the intensity is kind of like the initial value that we set. Okay, so if we turn that up, it's not going to do anything until we set these. So if we turn this attack stage up, okay, what's happening is it's going, the time set here, the note is going up based to the level set on here, and then it's jumping back to the original note. Now we can make it kind of smoothly go back to the original note, so we get like a rise and fall effect. Okay, like so. So if we just want it to like go from high to low, we just use the decay stage. So that's great if you want to get that zappy sort of sound. Okay, cool for that kind of thing. So the only limitation with this one compared with the analog, unless I'm missing something here, is you can't, because you can have like the note starting high and going down to the pitch that we played. You can't start it lower and then go up, so you can't do that kind of rising effect as far as I can tell. Because what happens is if we do, it goes up obviously from the original note there, but then it jumps back down to the note we played. I mean, you could do it, I guess, I think. You could do a bit of a workaround, actually, by having the decay stage right to the top. And then playing it an octave down. So yeah, you can do it with a bit of a workaround that way, actually. Yeah, so it's just not perhaps as flexible as on the analog synth. And again, you can do the same thing here. You can send this envelope to either oscillator 1 or oscillator 2. So if we leave that as it is on oscillator 1, bring in the volume of oscillator 2. Okay, or we could send it to both. For a very nice fat sound. So that's the pitch envelope on the two software synths. Let's go over to the Microbrute. So the Microbrute's a little bit more limited in terms of envelope routing because it's only got one envelope, and this is used for the amp, the filter, and we can also use it for the pitch. I've got it at the moment just on the amp setting. You can have it affected by the envelope by this switch here, or we can have it on here. So it bypasses the envelope on the amp, and we just get basically note on, note off. So to use it to affect the pitch, we've got to use the mod matrix up here. So we take the envelope output, plug it to the pitch input. So the first dial we've got here, if we bring in the attack, okay, that's not actually doing anything until we change the envelope amount here. So this is very, very similar to the Tall Electro. So the attack is the time it's going to take to reach the pitch note that we set based on the envelope amount. So this is kind of like that intensity dial on the Tall. So if you turn that up a little bit, okay, and then bring the attack up. Okay, so that's setting the time it's taking to rise to the note that we set by this dial. If we turn that up a little bit more, it's going to go higher. Okay, and then it's immediately jumping back to the note that we played. If we want it to kind of do a rise and fall, we bring the decay up. Okay, so working basically exactly the same now as that we saw on the Tall Electro with those three dials. But on the Microbrute, we do have a third option. The sustain parameter or slider or whatever you want to call it will set the note that you finish on, so you don't have to have it going back down to the original note. Okay, we can have it staying there. Okay, so that way we can do the rising up or down. Okay, so that's kind of roughly the basics of how it works on the Microbrute. So I think that's pretty much it then for this video. Hopefully that will give you some idea of how to use pitch envelopes and what you can use them for. So if you've got any questions or comments, please stick them in the box below. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notifications when I upload new videos, which I am going to try and do more regularly now. I've been a little bit hit and miss over the last 5 or 6 months, combination of puppies and lockdowns and other kind of things happening. But yeah, I'm going to try and get back on it with a bit more regular stuff. So if you want to consider supporting the channel on Patreon, then that would be much appreciated. And go and check out my music and all that other kind of stuff as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 7 where we're going to look at pulse width modulation. Thanks for watching. See you in that one.